Who does not like a good bagel and cream cheese? The stuff of perfection. And you know, you'll come across as kind of a culinary badass when you can say nonchalantly, "Are you enjoying the bagel and cream cheese?" "Yeah, I just made that cream cheese a couple days ago myself." And really, it is easy, fun, and cheap to make good, fresh, organic cream cheese at home. So, how do you make cream cheese anyway? And who invented the stuff? That is what we are going to check out. You see, cream cheese is nothing more than a high-fat content, non-aged cheese. It's made of 50% cream and 50% whole milk. Though tons of histories point to the invention of cream cheese in the 1870s, tying it to the company that now makes the Philadelphia brand, those histories are false. Cream cheese is uniquely American, but there are recipes dating back to 1769 in New England newspapers on how to make it. As well, in the 1800s, recipes started being published in cookbooks on how to make good cream cheese at home. Still, what cream cheese wasn't clearly defined, as we have a letter from a certain Mrs. Beaton in 1861 explaining how to make cream cheese. Now, her exclamation was just to take cream, heavy cream, put it in a muslin sack and let it drain for 2 to 3 days until it became firm. Now, that's not really a cheese because it's not cultured. Now, drying cream in muslin may seem pretty far-fetched if all you've seen is the grocery store version of heavy cream, which is ultra-pasteurized and very liquid. If you've had experience with the real, fresh, unpasteurized stuff, it is almost a solid already. Almost a solid. I know some folks whose cholesterol levels put them there. So here is how to make real cultured cream cheese at home that tastes so much better than the stuff in the shiny tin foil. Okay, to begin this very easy process, what I have here is 1 pint of unpasteurized whole milk. I find that unpasteurized milk makes better cheese. Now, that can be hard to find. Go to health food stores. It's oftentimes sold as milk for pets because of some screwy regulations, but some unpasteurized whole milk, then another pint of organic unpasteurized cheese. And what I have here is the starter culture. Now, I live in a city of 8.5 million people. This stuff still can be so hard to find. It's dirt cheap, but hard to find. So I've put in a link down in the comments section. If you have a hard time finding it where you live, just click on that link and it'll take you where you can get it at a very good price. So I'm just going to open this up. And pour that in. And it's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of starter culture. So that's that. Now I've let this come to room temperature before starting. Same with the cream. And I'm going to pour the cream in. Put that to the side. And then I'm just going to give it a brief whisk. And I'm going to let it sit here at room temperature for about 8 to 12 hours. Now, if you let it sit longer, don't worry, you haven't ruined it. The bacteria keeps working, but it'll just be a little bit tangier. But about 8 to 12 hours works. It should be the consistency of a nice yogurt. It may not be uniform in its consistency, but it should be the consistency of a nice yogurt. And we will come back to that at that time. Now, notice that I'm using also a glass bowl. I like to use glass or glazed ceramics. I don't like to use plastic because basically that starter culture is inserting good bacteria. And you know, when you use plastic, sometimes it's easy to ding up, and you can get little pockets where some not so good bacteria have formed and hide. So I like to use glass or glazed ceramics. Okay, so it's been about 12, 14 hours, and I've covered it because, frankly, we have dogs in the house. I didn't want any dusty anything to get into it. But let's take a look and see how this is going. All right. Oh, that's looking perfect. So we've got here, yeah, that is set up just nicely. You see there's a firmness to it, just kind of like a good yogurt. That's exactly what we want. Now, what I've done is I've put a very tight weave cheesecloth into a colander here. Now, this stuff can be hard to find. You don't want to use the stuff you get at the grocery store because, frankly, it's just way too broad. So if you have a hard time finding it, again, there's a link down below. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take this now and just kind of scoop it into the colander like that. And see, again, like a good yogurt, nice and thick. Just scrape that out. And then I'm going to tie up the corners. Scrape that off. Tie up the corners and hang it up so that this can dry. Okay, so this is perfect. What I've done now is I've taken that cheesecloth holding the cream mixture, and I've tied it to a doorknob on one of my kitchen counters or kitchen cabinets, just to allow it to basically drip dry, to get rid of the moisture. And I've put a very large bowl beneath it because, frankly, I don't want it to splash everywhere. So we'll come back to this in about 8 to 10 hours. Okay, so it has been hanging now for about 8 hours, and what I've done is I've moved it to a bowl, and I'm going to then take the cheesecloth here, spread that out, and basically roll it into that bowl. Get my elbow out of the way there for you. That probably helps. And just use your hands to scrape that off. Okay, very, very good. Now what I'm going to do, this is the period of time when what you want to do is, if you're going to add anything to the cream cheese, like if you wanted to add chives or garlic, this would be the time to do it. What I'm going to do, I have some nice flaky sea salt here, and I'm going to add it to that and just mildly incorporate it because I kind of like the crunchiness when you bite into it. So I'm going to take that, sprinkle around a little bit. Just going to knead that a little bit, fold that in with my hands. Now what's going to happen when you refrigerate this, it's going to set up and become much firmer. But this is some excellent, excellent cream cheese, and you get a chance to get your hands all messy, which is always kind of fun and some of the nice stuff of cooking. So we will try this in a minute. Okay, time of truth. Oh yeah, baby, that is the good love. I hope that this has been fun and informative, and I hope you go out and get the stuff to make cream cheese because it is so tasty. For more fun recipes, travel tips, and videos, check out our website at historybytheplate.com. Oh, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. It is fun and free. Happy cooking!